Hey guys, what's up, how's it going? My name is Rob and welcome back once again for another video on the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick little portfolio update. Be showing you guys how my stocks have been doing, how we've been building out this dividend portfolio, and I'm going to be showing you guys the REIT or the Canadian REIT that I'm going to be buying and adding inside my portfolio for today. So before we go in the video and we talk about the portfolio, one thing I really want to talk about really quickly was the goals of this portfolio. And if you guys want to see the portfolio, you want to skip over this, skip ahead in the video for a couple minutes because we'll get into my portfolio and the stocks I'm buying for today. And if you guys don't want to watch this part, you can skip ahead. But I'm going to talk about my goals really quickly because once again, the whole goal of this portfolio is to eventually get to the point where we can use dividends on a monthly basis to pay for everything that we have. And I know it's a pretty long goal, but this is one of the things that I've been doing since I started this portfolio a little bit over a year ago. So what I've been doing is I have this cool little spreadsheet where we've been tracking everything I've been buying, and the whole goal eventually, like I mentioned earlier, is to eventually pay for everything what I have. So I've been buying like little things like necessities and essentials that we use in everyday life. So let's take a quick little peek here and let's see what I actually went to the store and I bought today. So I was at the store the other day and I was kind of thinking, once again, the whole idea of the dividend portfolio is to buy like essentials that I use in everyday life. And one thing that we used in everyday life, or one thing that you should be doing if you don't actually do, is taking a shower. So some things that we use are things like a towel. So I bought this nice little towel, and the funny thing about towels is like we actually have a lot of towels that have actually accumulated over the years. So I have a lot of these extra towels, and it just creates a lot of extra laundry, and some of them aren't the greatest and whatnot. So I just wanted to get rid of them. So the cool thing about doing this case study is it's also kind of seeing like the value of less is more. So now I kind of trimmed down, instead of having a bunch of random towels everywhere that I have to do a bunch of laundry. Now I only have 2 towels, so it's a little bit easier to do it and whatnot, and just to appreciate some of the simple things. So we ended up paying $8.98 for the towel, so it wasn't that expensive. But now, once again, it's one of those necessities, and I'm just kind of keep adding things into our spreadsheet and growing it over time. So I hope you guys kind of enjoy this little thing and this little experiment that I'm doing here. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about that really quick and show you guys, what I've been doing to help build the portfolio and increase my way of life and whatnot, and what we're buying with our dividend, extra free dividend money. Let's jump inside the portfolio itself and let's actually see how our stocks are doing today. Alright guys, so quick little recap here. If you guys are brand new to the portfolio, we'll go over the value of the portfolio, how we've been growing it over the past 12 or 13 months or so. Just a quick little reference, guys. We actually started this portfolio in January of 2020. It is now January 22nd of January 2021. Geez, it's kind of confusing there. So the portfolio is almost about 12 months, almost approaching the 13th month. So we're just slowly growing this over time. But it's pretty crazy to see how much money we've been able to grow and invest into these dividend stocks and grow over time. And like I mentioned earlier, I showed you guys in my dividend income spreadsheet, I can show you guys like how much on a monthly basis the portfolio is growing and how much we made in income. So let's cover the stock appreciation a little bit, and let's see how the portfolio has been doing. So over the past day since this morning, the portfolio actually went down a little bit. We're down negative $46 over the past week. Our portfolio is once again kind of sitting on that 0 point, and over the past month we are currently up about 2%. So stocks over the past month have kind of slowly, towards the beginning of January, kind of nice little jump up, but now we're kind of breaking even kind of thing. Over the past 3 months, we're up 7%, which is $1,000, $82, so not too shabby. And over the past year, once again, all time, we're about, sitting around that 7% range. And keep in mind, we did have a REIT-based portfolio that we eventually combined into the TFSA portfolio. So when I first started this, I had some REIT stocks, I had some Canadian dividend stocks. I made them separately, but going into 2021, towards the end of 2020, I just decided I wanted to hold my REITs inside of a TFSA because that makes the most sense. So I just kind of threw them together. Now, unfortunately, when I did that, I lost a lot of the value of the REITs. I'll show you guys in just a second here. You guys can see here's a little video where I was talking about this in December about how my REITs kind of went up there. We lost a lot of the growth of the REITs, so the portfolio looks like it's a little bit lower than it really is. It's probably more likely sitting around that 10 maybe to 15, even maybe kind of percent range, because the REITs, we lost a lot of that growth here. And as you guys can see, the 2 REITs I hold inside this portfolio are RioCan and H&R REIT, and H&R REIT was up like 30-40%, RioCan was up like 15 to 20%, and then we had to rebuy the stock because with also what trade, we weren't able to transfer the personal account into the TFSA. We had to sell the stock shares and then rebuy them. So we lost a lot of that growth, but it's still there. It's just not really counted for. So the REIT I'm going to be talking about today is RioCan, and this is the one I'm going to buy because RioCan is Canada's one of the biggest REITs, and it's also in a really interesting position. As a lot of you guys can see here, over the past year, RioCan is down about 36%, so it's hit pretty hard. A lot of people are saying it's undervalued, and it probably is when you think about it because of the fact that everything's shut down, and there's a lot of talk about them because they recently cut their dividend and whatnot. And if I go over to Google here and I type in RioCan stock, we can see the dividend yield is actually 5.5%. Earlier in I guess back in 2020, it was sitting about like that 7 to 8% yield, but they recently cut their dividend, so now it's sitting at 6%. And the funny thing about this is, in all honesty, a 6% yield is pretty good still. And it is a monthly dividend, and that's the reason why I'm buying RioCan, because it's a nice, number one, it's a way to diversify my portfolio, but it also gives me that monthly dividend yield, which is really, really nice. And it is down 36% over the past year. Over the past 5 years, it is down 25% because it got hit so hard in 2020. As you guys can see, when March hit, it just kind of dropped hard, but it did rise up a little. We got a nice little gain from RioCan since we've been buying it in 2020, but now we're kind of starting to it's kind of like starting to just kind of sit here. Now, one thing a lot of people are talking about is, is what's going to happen with RioCan, and I think RioCan is going to do well as the economy opens up and as we recover. I think it's going to do well, and since it does have a pretty good, decent monthly yield, you can keep putting that back into the stock on a monthly basis, and then over time as it grows, you'll just get that nice stock appreciation, and you'll keep on those dividend yields. It'll keep growing over time, and it is, like I mentioned, one of Canada's biggest REITs. So I think overall it looks bad, and I know REITs are really struggling, and there is risk. I don't want you guys to know that there isn't risk, and this is why I'm not going crazy with RioCan, but I think at the end of the day, these REITs will eventually do well, and they do have nice yields. Currently inside the portfolio, we hold 59 shares of RioCan, which is total value about $1,000. All-time performance is about 0.9%. So we're kind of like, since we started buying it back in I think December, about a month ago, since we transferred into the new account, the new TFSA account, it kind of went up a little bit. So we're even up 1%, but realistically, I think we're up about like 18 or 19% since we started investing in it in 2020. So we're still doing pretty good. Even if it dropped a little bit, I'd be okay with that. I'd just keep buying because I do believe in the long-term value of this company. I'm just not going to go too crazy because, of course, there's risks, and who knows? It might be, it might take a while. If you go back to this little sheet here on Google, here, we can see that if we go max, we can see that RioCan did take a big hit when the financial crisis and the housing crash happened in 2017 to 2007, 2008. We see a big drop here, but it recovered quite nice. I think we should see recovery in 2020, but it's going to be like, how long is it going to take, and over the course of how long? We've seen nice recovery, here from the stock over the next couple of years, and I think we should see something familiar to that to some degree. We'll just have to wait and see, and that's why I'm going to be buying RioCan on a regular basis. So today I'm going to be buying a couple of shares of RioCan, and then the rest of the money we have, we're going to be putting inside our ETFs. So we have $252 inside our TFSA, as you guys can see in Wealth Simple Trade. I'm going to be buying about $100 or so of RioCan, which is 6 shares, and I currently earn about 6%. I have 6% RioCan in my portfolio. So once again, I do believe in the long-term value of this company. I'm not going super crazy with it because I also have another REIT, which I'll talk about in just a second here as we go back inside the portfolio. So I'm kind of splitting my REITs between RioCan, and I'm splitting it between another one called H&R REIT. And this is one that's done really well for me too. It's another retail-based REIT, and they're down 42%. And we've seen a huge gain in them because we bought them in 2020, and then we've seen this big jump with it jumped up like 20 or 30% or something like that. And we still have those gains. But this one has been hit a little bit harder. So between RioCan and REIT and H&R REIT, we have about like 15% of the portfolio. So it is kind of higher on the REIT side. So I'm probably not going to be buying any more of these REITs, or I'll just be buying them in small dosages here and there. And once again, they're both monthly distributions, so those dividends will get reinvested back into the companies and whatnot. So that's the REIT I'm buying in today's video. So I hope you guys, think that's pretty cool and whatnot. Let me know what you guys think about REITs and RioCan and whatnot. And I'm just going to refresh the page really quickly so we can see that portfolio value get updated. We'll go back inside here. And we have a little bit left over, so I think we're going to be using the rest of the money to buy, once again, ETFs. So we could buy VDY or we could buy VFE. I think I'm going to buy some VDY because I haven't bought it for a while. We'll buy a couple shares of VDY here. So let's buy I'm going to buy 2 shares of VDY, which is our overall Vanguard Canadian fund. It's a dividend fund, once again, like just good dividend stocks here. We'll buy that one. We'll go back inside the portfolio. We'll hit refresh. And if we have anything left over, we'll just take a quick little peek here. And as you guys can see, we have 174. Did my order for RioCan not go through here? I'm just going to do a quick little recap here and see on the activities tab. Market buy for RioCan, $100 and $68. Okay, it did go through. Let me just quit. Maybe it's just slightly delayed. Sometimes the buys are slightly delayed on Wealthsimple. So we'll just kind of wait for this to go through here. Once again, refresh the page. We can see $179. So I think I'm just going to buy some VFV, some shares of VFV. I think is what I'm going to do. We're going to buy like 1 share of that, and that should leave us with I think about $88 left. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And we'll leave it at that, and we'll probably keep the extra money to either buy some stocks on Monday or something like that, and kind of see how the portfolio goes. So once again, guys, no new updates in regards to dividend payments. It's been pretty slow. We got a bunch of dividends at the start of January, and then it's pretty much been nothing ever since. As you guys can see, bunch of dividend payments at the beginning of January. We have TELUS, H&R REIT, XRE, RioCan. There's that RioCan dividend, but that will be shorter because that new cut will come in February. Then VFB, we got a nice dividend. VDY, nice dividend. And then some Savaria Corp and AQN, which is the Algonquin Compound Utilities. And I think we have a big payment coming up from TD towards the end of the month, so that'll be really nice. We have a lot of money in TD. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the, the stocks I buy and my dividend investing case study and whatnot. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and remember to subscribe if you guys want to follow alongside with me. Have yourself a good weekend. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys later.